Hello and welcome to the assessment review for 3CO03, and this is the module that looks at core behaviours for people professionals, and this was released in June 2025. Okay, so what is this unit all about? So this unit introduces the core behaviours for people professionals, focusing on ethical practice, professional values, and professional development. It considers how certain ways of thinking and acting should be universally consistent, even in new and challenging situations, to promote a sense of well-being and inclusivity in the organisation. But it's a case study, so let's have a little read of this. So you have the following job advertisement and you have decided to apply. So a company called Nuvaska Limited provides a range of home-based care to people who need for many different reasons. We now have 200 qualified and experienced care professionals working across the country, supporting our lovely, loyal and valued customers. As a result of our continued expansion, we are seeking an HR and L&D assistant, which is the role that you're applying for, to work within our people practice team. The role will involve you in all aspects of the people practice initially, but with a view to taking a more specialist role with either our HR or L&D teams after the first year. This is a great opportunity that we are looking for a special person to fill it. Whilst you may have not worked in the people practice yet, we would expect you to have a good understanding of what is involved with people practice and be working towards a relevant CIPD qualification. Nuvaska is not just about providing care. We are about providing care in a way that benefits our customers, our staff, our wider communities, and our planet. Our values are honesty, kindness, and openness. And the right person for us will be someone who has a sound ethical and professional values, who applies these to their work and life. We work in teams, so we are looking for a good team player, someone who is open, adaptable, and enjoys working with others. Above all, the right person will love learning and building their skills and be motivated to take up all of the opportunities Nuvaska can offer. If you feel the above describes you, then get in touch using the attached questionnaire and tell us a little bit more about you. Well, spoiler alert, guys, this is the unit and you have applied for the role. So the upcoming questions are the attached questionnaire. And before we get into anything question related, we do like to share there is a marking strategy here going from 1 to 4. 1 being a fail and 4 being a high pass. Please feel free to pause this video whenever you like to read through the descriptors. However, we want you to focus towards a level 3, and that level 3 pass is asking in particular for you to use and demonstrate a good level knowledge of understanding and skill to meet that question. It includes the use of example or multiple examples which are required to support the answer. You may wish to use models and theories and other references as well, even to back that up. In particular, the case study or scenario as well, where appropriate. And you want to directly address the question or task and make sure that it's well expressed. Finally, you want to have a good format and structure which meets the criteria of the brief. For example, you want a nice, steady, easy to follow flow of your writing, having clear paragraphs and headings if you require and want to use them, just to help that CIPD marker be able to follow those steps more easily. Okay, so the questions themselves. Your evidence must be consistent of these following questions, which are approximately 2,000 words, and you have your plus or minus 10% to work with, but please refer to the CIPD word count policy. Your CPD record can be presented in the form of a structural CPD record and CPD record, or as pages from the CIPD My CPD Reflections tool or another appropriate format as agreed with your centre. Please bear in mind though that the CPD record is not included in your word count. Okay, let's get onto the questions themselves. So question 1 is ethical working is very important to Nuviska. Tell us why you understand by the terms ethical principles and professional values, and give examples of how one of your values has informed your behavior at work. Make sure you use the full context of your example, like what type of work, what value it was, how it informed your behavior. So this is nicely broken down for you already. So you want to start off by discussing and understanding the terms ethical principles, what it is, define it, what it means to you, and then go on to professional values, define it, what it means to you, and then give that example of one of your values that exists and an example of how you have used that to inform your behavior at work. It might be because you've stepped up when you saw somebody being mistreated, and it could be you've stuck to your guns on something due to your integrity, and so on. Okay, question 2. As a provider of care, we are rigorous about complying with the relevant regulation and law. Tell us about 2 ways you've precisely complied with relevant regulation and law in your work or studies within the context of ethics and professional practice. So again, it's breaking it down for you. It explicitly wants 2 ways that you have complied with regulation and law. Think of it as Nuviska themselves. They are a care company. So what additional regulations and laws that maybe you have come across before or worked with or been studying that has empowered your ethics and professional practice, and break that down. Talk about number 1, talk about number 2, and make sure that you follow them both up with how they have applied in terms of ethics and professional practice. It is important to mention as well that we do have CIPD bite size with each of these questions. Each of these questions will go into a nice little breakdown of around about 10 minutes or so in order to give you a little bit more context, information, or structure to your answer. It's not going to give you the answer, but it's going to give you multiple ways of thinking, and how you would like to respond to this answer is entirely up to you. But having a quick dive into the bite size, if you're feeling stuck or if you feel like you just need this additional preparation on someone else speaking to, then check these videos out that are really useful to help you answer your questions. Okay, question 3. Our people practice team are happy and inclusive group of people who respect each other and work well together. The team values are that everyone is willing to contribute to their views and opinions, clarify problems or issues, and work effectively as part of a team. For this question, we would like you to provide 3 examples, 1 for A, 1 for B, and 1 for C, summarizing how you demonstrated the behavior. So it's broken down there already for you. We want you to discuss how you contribute their views and opinions, how you can clarify problems or issues, and how you can work effectively as part of a team, and summarize the ways that you have demonstrated that before. Include some references and models if you need to, just to summarize and bulk that up a little bit more. Please bear in mind your word count. All right, question 4. Professional development is key for the effectiveness of our people practice team, and we would like you to know how you approach your professional development. Please tell us about how your 2 favorite methods of keeping up to date with issues and developments in the people profession, and how you make use of the information you gain from these 2 methods. It's quite a wordy question. However, we can break that down really simply. So we've been asked about our approach to professional development. So we're picking not 1, but 2 ways of how we keep up to date with issues and developments, and how you make use of that information going onwards. So think of it as action point 1, talk about favorite method number 1 and how that's useful. Action point number 2, and then how that's useful. And it's just that simple. Okay, and our final question is question 5. So finally, you showed us that you actively undertake a record and reflect your development. By providing your CPD record, this should include at least 2 examples from within the last 2 years of development activities that you've undertaken with accompanying reflections and how they impacted you. So, for example, you may want to talk about a webinar, a seminar, a networking event, another accreditation that you may have taken to help you and impact your development. Please bear in mind that you can use your CPD reflection tools from the CIPD. You can structure that into a format, but please do check out the bite size for this question in particular. It would be very helpful for you to understand how you can display this and what works best for you. Does something resonate with you within that CIPD bite size? That will just make it a lot easier to help you answer your question. But that brings us to the end of the assessment review for 3CO03. I've been Dan, and don't forget to check out all of our bite-sized sessions. And if you have any questions, please reach out to a member at HRC Online. Thank you.